Luna, are you
Yeah.
ready? Yeah. Ooh, welcome back, gamers, to the Experience Points podcast. This is episode 25, and the current date is February 7th, 2021. And today I am joined by Kim the Great,
Hello, hello.
Blackout,
What up, G?
and Kev the Professor.
So,
Sup, brah? On today's episode, we are going to chit chat about a deep psychological subject. What games mean to us? What video games really mean to us deep down in our core? No, it's not going to be that serious, but we are going to talk about what games mean to us and how we got into them and all that kind of stuff. So, in the meantime, Jones, hit us with some transition music. Oh, whoa! I didn't say. Oh,
opera.
it's Halo. I was not expecting that at all. Cool beans. While we chit chat, Blackout's going to be playing a little bit of Nier Automata, or I like to call it Automata. Automatopoeia.
That's actually what I call it.
Jones, what exactly are you doing in Nier today?
I don't know. I haven't played in a while, so I'm just gonna be trying to find some quests that haven't completed.
Good answer. Good answer. Well, thank you for being honest in this year of 2021. Hoping the picture clears up just a little bit. Anyway, so little chit chat about what games mean to us and how we get into them, and potentially our very very first games. I guess we can take it back that far to one of our first memories of video games. Kev, let's go ahead and start with you, brother.
um, I've been gaming since the NES, and even before that, there was like a few arcade games I probably saw like when I was a kid, but I was like second grade, so I
Okay.
don't even remember that much. Pretty sure Mario Brothers was my first game. I know my mom was amazed by the fact you push it down and he ducks. Uh,
Ah, that's awesome.
Might have been high. Um,
Technology.
my main focus for gaming is like I like experiencing the stories, living the action, uh, being in place of in the shoes of the character basically, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then stress relief basically. Nothing like taking out your grievances from a hard day at work on a character in a game instead of an illegal head bash in real life.
Yes, because we all came home from second grade and jumped on some Goombas to relieve
No,
stress.
no, no.
We
Later
all
on
know
in
that.
life. No, when I first got my NES, I was only allotted like a half hour a day,
Same
Sucker.
here. Same
Sucker.
and
here.
there was one time where I sacrificed my after 8 p.m. Television watching for that night so that I could play. I think it was like an extra 15 minutes or an extra half hour or something, and it just wasn't enough time to get what I wanted to do done. It's just like
That's
half hour ain't enough time for anything.
that's how you know you're a gamer. Okay, Kim, how about you, girl?
Um, trying to think, but when I first started gaming, it was also restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Suckers.
Which there's kind of like we don't really restrict our kids on gaming because back then they're like it's gonna rot their brains. You don't want them to get stupid. And like some of the gamers are some of the most intelligent people out there.
Of course.
And it's just I don't know. It's just really I don't know. It didn't really that it kind of had the opposite effect. Restricting it more as a kid made me just want to just dive all head first in it later on.
Of course.
But like, nowadays, it primarily is a de-stressor, and an escape from the real world, which can be really shitty sometimes. Sometimes if I'm just having like a really stressful day, I just lay down, turn off the light, get underneath my blankets, and put on the PS5 and just start. And I'm just like totally in the zone, and then I just forget all about like of why I was pissed to begin with.
Oh yeah.
Like a long time ago, and when I used to have like really shitty days, um, that's when I would just put on Grand Theft Auto and just ride on the sidewalk plowing people over. That was always fun, watching somebody just bounce right off the hood and go flying. Oh.
Just go around and smack my bitch up.
The funny thing is, like that, like in real life when I'm driving, and I'm just like, oh man, if this was Grand Theft Auto, I would be getting in my, I'd have my little motorcycle and I'd get in between those semis and just fly, you know.
We have all done that many, many times. In fact, to be honest, if I'm like a passenger in a car, I still do the finger ninja thing where you take your fingers and you run along the rails like a little like a ninja. I still do that. That's good stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, those are all valid things that we did back in the day. It was the same for me. I was my grandma did not, believe in video games, and she actually took the further step of hiding my Nintendo, and I knew exactly where it was. Of course, I knew where it was because I watched it freaking put it away, and she swears I didn't know. But when she would leave, I would sneak it out. And one time she came home and she was like, "Did you play the Nintendo?" And I was like, "No, Grandma, I didn't play the Nintendo."
She's like, right.
And she had it in a certain way, like she had like this little feather or pin or something on top of it, and I didn't realize it. So I moved it, and I got my ass whooped that night, bad, really, really bad. But I had it worse than you guys. I only got like a half an hour to 45 minutes a week to play, and that was only on Saturdays. So yeah. But of course, when I got older, and I moved out of my grandma's house and back in with my mama, because I wasn't with her for a short while. And then I got my own system. Then I played whenever I wanted to. When I got home, as long as my homework was done, that's all my mom cared about. Finishing my homework and eat my dinner, and then I could play as much as I want until 8, 9 o'clock when it was bedtime. And then on the weekends, I can play it till 10.
Suckers.
And that's how it should be too.
We weren't
Get your
spoiled like
priorities
you.
done, that's what should count.
Yeah. Jones, how about you, bro?
Well, like, I don't mean to kind of rub it in, but unlike you all, I didn't have limits to the degree. I did have to make sure I got my homework done, but there was no real order of what I had to do it. I was responsible enough to do my homework. I just did whatever I did, and I got plenty of gaming time. Although I will say my grandmother, of course, was not really much into games, but most of my games were at my apartment anyway, because I stayed both at my grandparents' house and with my mother and sister at our apartment. So, like, pretty much I was all gaming when I was at home, but I was not much gaming at all when I was over there, because I didn't have any consoles over there. Like, if I took my Game Boy over there, that's one thing, but, I just had TV and stuff over there. So, and then, like, I could just play until when it was, like, bedtime or whatever. Weekend, I probably stepped to at least 1 a.m. playing, whatever.
And now you have extended that time till 6 a.m.
Whatever. So anyways.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
I don't try to stay up until 6. It just happens sometimes.
Exactly.
Honestly, so I'm a late night gamer. But in general, I started playing games. I don't know why I started playing. I just love video games. I have no reason to. I don't have to do it to escape. I mean, it's fun and all, but I just feel that video games are made for me. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but video games are made for me. I love video games. Video games love me. We just play. We lose track of time. We love it. It's fun. It's awesome. I think I was starting to play back in the Atari days. I love to challenge myself with video games. What the hell? So, like, I just play them. I mean, I don't even have. It's just my ninja way, so to say. What is it? Like, people like. Yes, it's like my video games are my ninja way. Like, I just knew I had to be playing video games. Even when I was like little, I mean, I wanted to make video games. I didn't kind of pan out the way I wanted to, but still.
Jones has the gaming jutsu.
And what else? There was something else I was gonna say. What the hell? I had it in my head, but now I can't remember. It's just like, oh, you know how people say you gotta, what is it? People need to like, what, smoke or something like that to get good. I just play video games to get good if I have to. I don't need a stress reliever. I'm just saying, video games are my natural high. That's what I meant to say. Yes, video games are my high. I don't need to get high to get high. I just need to play some video games to get high.
Let me get high.
No, I, have dabbled in that like way back in my young days. But let me just say, you're very non-productive in that state. And you can get a lot more done when you're playing video games. Just saying.
Well, to go back to,
the video games, yes.
Drugs and video games are our next topic for our next episode. No. But I never said, why I started and what it meant to me. For me, growing up in Chicago, Chicago, especially the area I lived in, it was not a good place to be. Like, you constantly heard gunshots and gunfire outside your freaking window all the time. So it was either stay inside and play video games or watch movies, or go outside and take a risk of getting shot. And that wasn't just at nighttime, it was in daytime too. I remember one time I was walking home, and I was literally 2 blocks from my house, and I hear this car screech around the corner. I literally dove into a bush head first. Anything. Next thing I know, I hear pop, 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 and shit was. And next thing I know, the car was down the street, and an ambulance was coming, the fire truck was coming. It was crazy growing up in Chicago. I love my city, but the places I grew up in was crazy as hell. So for me, video games were a safety net. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going outside and getting involved with gangs and drugs and stuff like that, which I could have done if I would have met the right people. But, for me, it was all about the gaming. Which is a good stuff. My first system was the Atari. And I got some Atari horror stories.
Horror stories?
Yes, Atari horror stories. And I'll tell it now. When we got our first Atari, we were living with my mom's boyfriend up in his attic, and the attic was finished, and we had a bed up there and stuff like that. But it was summertime in Chicago, in the attic. It was hot as hell, hot as balls. So we always had the window open, always had a fan going, but you were still sweating your ass off. So one day my mom brings up an Atari. It was a Saturday, and me and my brother were playing Combat and Pong all fucking day, and that old ass version of Pac-Man. It was so old. And then like 2-3 hours later, my mom comes up with a whole tray of White Castle burgers, fries, and onion rings, and a strawberry milkshake. Me and my brother were hungry. Yeah, you do. Me and my brother was hungry as hell because we had spent all that day gaming and we didn't even think about, eating or anything like that. So we wolfed that food down in the 90+ degree heat in a smelly ass attic. And my brother had left for just a minute to go to the bathroom. As soon as he left, I was like, oh, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And we had the tray there, and we had the 2 big ass cups, empty cups from the milkshakes. I started puking my brains out. I filled up both cups. I filled up both trays, and I was while I was puking, I was trying to look around to find something to continue puking in.
Oh no!
I've never had White Castle, and now I never want to.
White Castle is amazing. Okay, I love White Castle. And real quick, I had no idea you can ride mooses in this game.
You can ride a lot of animals, but also be right back. I have to make an emergency timeout for my grandmother.
Okay, that's fun. So I never found anything to freaking puke in, and it just went all over the floor. But I threw up a lot of fucking food. So that was one of my most cherished memories of the Atari. Shortly after that, I believe I got an NES a couple of years later. And then, the rest is history. Super Nintendo, all that kind of good stuff.
I always went to arcades and never had the money, so all I got to ever do was watch other people play. So having a console at home was like a godsend for me because I was able to play video games without, the need of money.
Oh,
But I was always like a generation or two behind, typically.
I
Still
got you.
playing Super Nintendo when everybody had a PlayStation.
My mom is a hustler, and I know that she hustled her way for those consoles because I never, I the first console I remember honestly buying is the PlayStation 2, and I don't remember how much that cost. But any other console I ever got before that was either a hand me down or a gift from my mom. And like I said, we was poor as hell, so I know she found a way to hustle to get those systems for me. So
We didn't have the money, but also my mom hated the fact that I played video games.
hmm
That I liked them, and it was like the typical '80s parent or parent like, born in the '60s and stuff like that, thinking that like video games gonna ruin your life.
yeah.
You amount to nothing because all you want to do is play video games type of thing. Um, but I mean, we all need an escape sometimes.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the reason I play now, it's not just stress relief or just to escape, but I enjoy the medium, itself, and I really love. I'm huge into art and things of that nature, and I'd like to experience different things and different stories, and I I, I personally play different types of games so I can see how the creators made the game, so I
Hmm.
can look a little bit into their thought process and how they put this game together and what ways they can challenge the gamer. And I just, and that's actually my gamer's New Year's resolution for this year is to expand a little bit more as a gamer. I streamed a game called Afterlife today on Twitch, and actually set this in the opening. I really want to expand uh, the type of games that I play. Even though I honestly do try to play just about everything and anything I get my hands on, but yeah, this year I just want to play more and beat more.
Is that your way of saying you're going to try Final Fantasy 14 again?
Okay, you're reading way too much into this, Kim. It's okay.
Eating too much into whatever you said, then I don't know.
She wants you to experience the glory of the storyline.
Expand your gaming.
Are we talking about Final
Experience.
Fantasy 14?
Of course.
Hi,
That's what
yeah. We are talking about the fact that I just said that my New Year's resolution for this year is to expand my horizons as far as what games I play. And then Kim, the first thing she said, Final Fantasy 14. Damn it.
It's always going to be like that.
It's all good.
Until you finish that main scenario,
Yo,
she's gonna
it's,
write that.
it's like I
Right.
said, it's coming out for PS5, so I will think about it for sure. And also, too, I can't even get back into my freaking account, jackasses.
Well, that's a good reason not to be able to get into it.
I'm
What is
serious.
this?
I legit tried for like a good 2.5 hours to try to get back in that damn thing.
Did like so you did the forgot my password?
Yeah, I did that like 1,000 times, and when they finally let me change it, and I
Mhm.
finally went to log in, they were like, "There's some suspicious activity going on. You can't log in." I'm like, "Bitch, I just fucking changed
Probably
it."
some fool saying forgot password a bunch of times.
Ugh.
You probably have to call him up. Honestly, make Eric do it for you.
No, I'm not that guy. If I'm gonna solve this problem, I'm gonna do it myself. But still, it's just a pain in the ass that it's this complicated to change the fucking password. I might try again uh, tonight because I was thinking about it earlier because it's been a couple of days since I did that, so everything should be hopefully reset in the system. So I don't know. Anyway, we are at our time for chit chatting, and tonight it's going to be the hubby versus the waifu, Kevin versus Kim. Oh, we're having so
What are
many
we
issues
playing?
tonight. And Eric actually put together a quiz for you guys
Oh
to do.
no!
And it's a
God.
Final Fantasy 14 quiz, so
Of course
get
it is.
excited.
Kevin wins.
Hit that transition music, Jones.
Dun, 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 dun. To this quiz.
All right, we are back, and it is quiz time. So, Jones, this is your thing. Take it away.
Alrighty, so today we have Blackout's Badass Final Fantasy XIV Quiz Part 1. And today's contestants is Kim the Great versus Kevin the Professor. Round 1. Fight! Alright,
Good lord.
question 1.
Silly ass.
Which extreme primal fight drops the in-bar mount? Is it A, Titan, B, Leviathan, C, Rama, or D, Ifrit?
Leviathan.
I want to say Ifrit. I shouldn't. I thought that was a long time ago.
And Kevin gets the point. It is B, Leviathan.
Jones,
I'm
are you
gonna say
keeping track of
Rama.
the score?
Hmm?
Are you keeping track of the score?
I mean, you can if you want to, but I will in my head. So right now, the
Please
score
write
is
it down, Cyrus.
1 for Kevin and 0 for Kim.
I got you.
Keep a tally in the background just in case. Question 2. What is the name of the legatus of the 6th Legion of Garlemald's Empire? Is it A, Gaius Van Belsar? Is it B, Xenos Yas Galvis? Is it C, Regula Van Hydrus? Or is it D, Valinus Van Varl?
I think D.
Are these real names? These sound terrible.
They are all real names.
What
They
the
do sound terrible.
Kim?
Yeah, I want to say D too.
Or is it C? Or is it E? Penis von Penile Bugger.
Shut up.
Man.
Anyways,
This
the
one's real.
answer is in fact C, Regula Van Hydrus. You are both incorrect, and no points were gotten from question number 2.
I refer to Gaius as Final Fantasy XIV's David Bowie.
Ah,
No, not Gaius. Not Gaius. That's
I don't want to know.
Nier. No, what was his name?
Nero.
Eric. Nero. Yeah, Nero.
ha, yeah, Nero. Question number 3. How many mansions does the power couple of Eorzea link that you own on Sargatanis?
Too many.
Is it A, 6, B, 7, C, 9, or D, 11?
Why? Why, Eric?
I'm gonna say 6 because if you own any more than that, I'm gonna lose all respect for you for keeping mansions away from those poor lowly people who just want a house to live in.
Kevin?
A. 6.
You are both incorrect! The
Oh, my
answer is
lord.
B, 7.
Okay, that's not too far
I
off.
guess you've lost all respect from me for taking away the common folks' housing. I did say
You're
the
a
power
jackass.
couple.
You're a jackass, Eric.
Question 4.
Slumlord.
Wow.
Living in
Question
cardboard
4.
boxes. He's like,
Wow,
"Oh,
slumlord now. We do actually rent out one for a club, so that's the point. Question 4. What battlefield do you fight Sophia, the goddess of the Warring Triad? Is it A, Containment Bay F1T5, B, Containment Bay P1T6,
Really?
Containment Bay S1T7, or D, Containment Bay Z1T9?
B.
I
Kim?
didn't understand half of what you were trying to say just now.
Do you fight Sophia, the goddess of the Warring Triad? She's a primal, basically, a primal fight, not actually a primal. Do you fight her at A, Containment Bay F1T5, B, Containment Bay P1T6, C, Containment Bay S1T7, or
No.
D? What?
Okay, keep going. I'm just crossing them off in my head.
Or D, Containment Bay Z1T9?
I
It's
say
B.
You said B?
I say B.
You are both correct. And by the way, Cyrus, 3 of those 4 places are real.
Okay, that's nice.
I made up the F1T5.
That one sounded like complete bullshit.
They all sound like complete bullshit. Sorry.
You gotta play the game.
Hey, yeah.
So currently, Kevin is up 2 points to 1.
You are
Kim is
correct.
still in there. We are now going on to question number 5. What is the name of the leader of the Illuminati? Is it A? You're gonna really laugh at these names. Is it A?
Oh Lord.
Quick thinks, all thoughts. Is it B?
What?
Lame brick strike box. Is it C?
SpongeBob
Slip
SquarePants. Is that one of
Steel
them?
joint? Or is it D? Rowena the Terrible?
Hey,
Say,
Kim?
yeah, I'm gonna say A.
You are both correct. It is quick thinks, all thoughts.
it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
in the goblin names, the way they do it.
Yeah,
Sure.
It is.
He's got all the thoughts. And
Pretty
and
much.
He
It makes sense.
thinks quickly. He's
Yeah,
leader.
okay.
Lame brick strike box is just a funny name. Okay. But yeah, those are all legitimate goblin names in Final Fantasy XIV.
Except for Rowena.
Rowena is in Final Fantasy XIV, but she is not a goblin.
She's human.
Or the leader of the Illuminati.
I don't know. She might be running the freaking show from behind the scenes. You know how I feel about Rowena.
She is a little power hungry. She got to
Mm-hmm.
be involved in everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one in charge of the actual. She's the actual one in charge of the 4 nations.
Sure, wouldn't be surprised. Alrighty. Question number 6. Which of these characters in the first is not a fragment of a character from the source? Is it A, Moen? Is it B, Grenold? Grenoldt. I can't even pronounce that name right.
Renault.
Yes, that.
Granola.
C, the Minstrelly Wanderer. Or D, Morin.
More. D.
Kim?
What was the first one again?
Moen.
That was D.
You are
I'm going with
both
D.
correct. Not for bonus points, but do you know who
Because-
Morin actually is?
Morin?
You should have bonus
Yes.
points.
Well, I know Moen is Rowena.
Yes, of course.
I don't know. I can't think of who Morin is.
Morin is the basically the librarian in the Crystarium.
Mm.
But I picked him because the name was very similar to Moen, and you might have gotten thrown off.
I knew who it wasn't for sure. Like B and C were like, okay, oh, this is obvious.
I hate the name that they use for the Minstrelly Wanderer is terrible. Anyways, question number 7. Which person has never been a member of the Syndicate? Is it A, Ralban Alden? Is it B, Godbert Manderville? Is it C, Lolorito? Or is it D, Namino Ul Namo?
These names are killing me.
They're all
Ralban.
real. You say
Hey.
Ralban. What about you, Kim?
Manderville.
You are both incorrect.
I knew
It was
Mandeville.
Nanimo, wasn't it?
It was Nanimo.
Oh
She
man,
is not
I
a
was like
member
on
of the
fence with
Syndicate.
her. It was.
I
I
thought
was on the fence. I was like, I don't know.
I figured she was in the syndicate because she's the Empress and all.
It
Right.
makes sense, but no,
She's a
because remember,
Sultana.
she doesn't have any power
Sultana.
because of the Syndicate. At the moment, I believe the score is 4-3. Am I right, Mr. Cyrus? I'm not completely sure, but I think it's 4-3.
You're right. It's 4-3.
Yay.
Kev's in the lead.
Alrighty. 2 questions left. Will Kim the Great manage to come back?
Nope.
Well, yeah,
I
you
know my
never know.
limitations. I know who I'm up against.
If you know, be confident, though.
I'm sorry, there's actually 3 questions. So, anyways, question number 8. Currently, what is the highest rank a free company can attain? Is it A, rank 8, B, rank 16, C, rank 30, or D, rank 40?
30. I want to say 30 because I just got our free company up to 24 earlier today.
Yeah, it has to be 30.
It could be 40. Just saying. So, anyways, the answer is C, 30. You are both correct.
Remember when it used to be 8?
Yeah, that's why. Question.
I was gonna say, what's the even point of getting it to 30? There's all the bonuses stop at 20.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea why they did, really. It's just there.
Okay.
It's like,
They should let us
something
do
to
3 actions up at once instead of just 2.
Next question.
That just would be a way to run out of freaking seals even faster. Question number 9. Which reflection became the void? Is it A, the 6th,
13.
B, the 12th, C, the 13th, or D, the 14th?
See.
Kim,
13.
you are both correct. I know that was probably the easiest question on this
And I
quiz.
wasn't even saying it just because Kevin said it either. Like that one was like, I know that one.
Question number 10. This is the last one, so you may want to answer differently just to tie. Question number 10. How many large plots are there in total in all residential areas on Sargentanis? Is it A, 450, B,
Jesus.
524,
Jesus.
C, 576, or D, 550? And
I'm gonna say 550.
Kim,
That's just what were the options again?
450, 524, 576, 550.
I'm saying 576.
And we have a tie. Kim was correct with 576.
Nice. And since we got a tie, they're both going to get points, which is how this works here.
Woo! I
It is
finally am on the board.
fantastic. You go, girl.
Very well.
I
We
only know
have.
that because Eric just told me the other day that there was 144 large houses coming with Ishgard.
I thought you said
So
100.
Kim was paying attention. I was hoping you were paying attention. It was kind of why I put that there.
I was like, quick,
I-
math.
I thought the number that he put. I thought the number he said was ended with a 5. So I was thinking the
Gotcha.
divisible by 5 number.
Oh no, trust me, I did not forget 144. I was thinking that like this whole time. I was like, oh man, 144. It's gonna be 144 people ahead of me. I just know it.
Well,
You got to realize a lot of people can't even actually. A lot of people don't want mansions. Like a lot of people cannot actually afford a mansion. Like a lot of people are just happy to get a medium or something like that. Some people are happy to get a small.
and with that being said, we are going to end this broadcast. We are a bit over time, but that's okay. And join us next week when we shall return at your regularly scheduled time. And until next time, gamers, keep on.
Leveling up.
Really? You have to go over like